Washington, the United States, U.S. Air Force's stealth jet, the F-22 Raptor, has received a major upgrade. According to a report by the Telegraph, this is in preparation for future confrontations with China. The upgrade to the iconic aircraft, claimed to be the best fighter jet in the world, comes as it approaches its third decade of frontline service and retirement. The F-22, made by Lockheed Martin, is the most powerful and advanced fighter jet in the world, but it has its weaknesses. Recognizing the F-22's limitations, particularly in terms of range, the U.S. Air Force is accelerating the twin-engine, single-seat jet toward early retirement. At the same time, the aviation branch is spending billions of dollars to ensure that after the Raptor retires, something better, a jet that avoids radar without the F-22's major flaws, will be ready to replace it. Many U.S. Air Force observers have lamented the Raptor's early retirement plan, less than 30 years after the aircraft was first deployed in frontline operations. It is not unusual for modern American fighter jets, such as the Lockheed Martin F-16 or the Boeing F-15, to fly for 40 years or more. Of course, with upgrades. According to the Telegraph, the U.S. Air Force, USAF, is very eager to replace its best fighter jet, indicating a lot about how and where USAF leaders anticipate future wars will occur. Specifically, at very long distances over the vast western Pacific Ocean, for instance, during a Chinese attack on Taiwan. The USAF is betting that the warplane designed to replace the F-22 will be better suited for such conflicts. The $300 million per unit F-22 has had a long development period. The aircraft grew out of the Advanced Tactical Fighter Initiative in the 1980s, first flew in demonstrator form in 1990, completed development in 2005, was first deployed to Japan in 2006, and completed production, only 195 aircraft, in 2012. It reportedly had its baptism of fire during the air bombing campaign against ISIS in 2014. Lockheed Martin designed it to fight the Soviet Union from bases in Europe, meaning poor endurance was not an issue. An F-22 can only travel about 600 miles on internal fuel, far enough to battle in Germany and Poland. The problem is, that range won't carry U.S. forces far across the vast Pacific. The Pentagon's nearest air base for a Taiwan war, Kadena in Japan, is 700 miles away. If Kadena is destroyed by Chinese missiles, the next closest major base, Misawa, also in Japan, is 1,400 miles away. It is no wonder that, in planning an air war over Taiwan, USAF officers increasingly ignore the F-22 and other fighters and instead calculate the optimal ways for long-range heavy bombers to fight the Chinese invasion forces. For the same reason, last year, USAF leaders announced that they wanted to retire about 150 units of the newest F-22 fleet within a few years starting in 2030, while retiring 30 or so older early model trainers next year and shifting pilot instruction to newer jets. Shortening the F-22's career can save billions of dollars that will help the USAF accelerate the development and production of the highly classified Next Generation Air Dominance, NGAD, fighter jet. Early test models of the NGAD jet have been flying since 2020, but the public still does not know what it looks like or what its functions are. What the public does know is that the USAF estimates the new jet will surpass the F-22's stealth and sensor capabilities and, more importantly, double its range. The NGAD fighter is a warplane capable of fighting China, more so than the F-22 ever was. But it comes at a high cost. The USAF estimates it will spend $5 billion per year for the next 4 years just to complete development and billions more to produce the jet starting around 2030. Given the high costs, it is no wonder the NGAD program is delayed. The USAF is already preparing for it. That is why, years ago, they paid to develop a pair of important new add-ons that will help keep the F-22 Raptor relevant for a few more years. Special fuel tanks under the wings, shaped to minimize radar cross-section, that can add hundreds of miles to the F-22's range, and a new pod for highly sensitive infrared sensors that allow the F-22 to detect targets without turning on its radar and potentially giving away its own position. The new fuel tanks and sensor pods first appeared publicly on an F-22 in blurry photos, apparently from an Air Force test site, which circulated last week.